Assalamu alaikum again, and a lovely, lovely morning to all of my students and whoever is watching this video right now. I hope you're still enjoying the day because it's getting hot, and but we are, alhamdulillah, in a comfortable rooms, sitting very comfortably, alhamdulillah. And the people who are working outside, like the people who are on the construction sites, the people who are the riders, who delivers the food or the parcel or the things, or people like that who are working direct under the sunlight, they are really, really feeling the heat wave and the hot weather. So we should take care of them. And if somebody comes to your home to deliver the parcel or to deliver the food, or maybe you see somebody nearby, if there's some construction going on, or somebody whom you see that in hot weather, they have come across you, please ask them, at least ask them for water. That is, it's a very, very, very good deed, because offering somebody water in such hot weather is really, really comfortable for that person, because if he's riding a bike, and maybe coming by walk, he is really feeling hot, and you offer him drink of water, a glass of water, you'll be very obliged. And that is something really, really good, right? So daily you can have you can do at least one of this thing, if you come across anybody like that. So that is really, really good, because as you know that the weather is changing every single year, in most of the countries which are like mostly populated, the cities which are mostly populated, the countries which are more developed, they are like, the people are growing, the industry is growing, the cars, the number of cars are growing. So with all this growth, we are having a comfortable life as well, but in the same way, the parallel was that there is a lot of bad things happens, even because we are not taking good care of our environment. So it was hot earlier as well, but that was with the weather. But now there are like weather changes on our planet Earth. It's a beautiful planet, that's the only planet with the life on it, as we have discussed earlier. So if we cannot find a life anywhere else, and we have to live on this planet Earth very comfortably, so we have to take care of this planet, right? Because when we are living comfortably, we really want our kids to live comfortably, you to live comfortably on this earth. So we have to hand over a nice, beautiful, non-polluted earth to our kids. So if when we go from this place, they will feel good that our elders have done something good. So, but if you see the time which has passed, like 100 years, it's been like, yeah, the world has changed a lot. So in that change, something very good happened, but along with that, something very bad happened, and that is the global warming. Yes, this is the global warming. So I'm going to show you a video before we're going to discuss about that, so you will get an idea what is the global warming and what they are going to tell us about global warming, right? So let's have a look at the video first.
Let's explain global warming with this ice cream. She's so excited to have this ice cream, but it all got melted. How? And she's crying so badly for her ice cream. This is carbon dioxide. This is methane. This is water vapor. And they are greenhouse gases. Where are they found? Carbon dioxide is found in the smoke and in the smoke. Methane is found here. In the fire. And the water vapor is found in this hot water that steams up. This is the sea that in a hot day steams up, evaporates, and becomes the clouds. This is the world, which is surrounded by the atmosphere. These have all these gases. In a hot sunny day, these gases trap the heat and make it further hot.
Okay, see, um, they have told us about global warming. So they told us about a couple of gases, the carbon dioxide and methane. The carbon dioxide is like, that trees absorb all the carbon dioxide, right? They release the oxygen and they take all the carbon dioxide. There were like more trees before and there was a less carbon dioxide in the environment. So we were discussing about that there were like more trees before and there was less carbon dioxide in the environment. But as the people grows, the industry grows, what happened that you have seen that the carbon dioxide started to release like from the smoke. From the smoke, the factories are making things in the smoke that comes out from the vehicles, the cars we use, and the fuel burns, and the smoke comes out from the aeroplanes. When they are flying high up in the sky, you must have seen the white line, and that is a smoke that just sticks into the environment up over there in the sky, right? So this is what we are getting daily basis, right? The CO2, sorry, the carbon dioxide, CO2 and the methane, right? So when we burn, we must have seen the people burn the trash outside. When they collect all that, they trash it and they burn it. And then that the fire creates the methane gas, and even in the factories, from the chimneys, there are like a lot of methane gas explosion, it is going out in the environment, right? So they are greenhouse gases, but what happens before that? Trees take all of these they absorb all these gases and they release the oxygen. But we have cut most of the trees, and we are not growing more trees. So the environment is being filled with all that, and that is getting polluted, right? Because the world is getting populated, and they're working, they're driving, they are burning, so that all the environment is getting polluted, right? So we are going to discuss now what are these what is this all about, right? Like what is the cause of the global warming? We have just discussed that. So global warming occurs when carbon dioxide, CO2, which I told you, and the other air pollutants, as methane, as I told you, that collects in the environment, right, and absorb sunlight and radiation, right? They absorb the sunlight and radiation because the protective shell, which is outside our the earth, the ozone layer, which we call, that reflects the bad rays, right? But when these gases goes up, they absorb all the sunlight and the solar radiation. which was bounced before the Earth's surface, the ozone, that ozone layer that reflects all these. But when they absorb all the sunlight and the solar radiation, the temperature is rising, right? The temperature of the Earth is rising day by day. So we need to think about that, because this is very alarming. This has come up to the alarming situation. So global warming is unusually a rapid increase in Earth's average surface temperature. And this is what I told you, that this is only because of that all the gases, when they go up, they are absorbing the sunlight and the solar radiation, right? So over the past century, primarily due to the greenhouse gases released as people burn fossils and fuels and trash, and in the factories, in the industries, all these greenhouse gases are being released in the environment, and that is creating the global warming, right? So what is the cause of that global warming? Right? What do you think is the cause of that global warming? The industry, the gases, the cars, the fire, what? What do you think? Okay, I'm going to tell you that scientists says that they agree that global warming is caused mainly by human activity, right? So human activity is where these global warming is happening, and we are all doing that. We are all responsible for that, right? And specifically, the evidences shows that certain heat trapping gases, such as carbon dioxide, they trap the heat. They are warming the world's temperature. So we need to know that these gases, they hold and they are trapping the heat in them, right? And when there's all the gases are trapping the heat in them, that is increasing the overall temperature of the world, right? And that we release those gases when we burn the trash, when we burn the fossil fuels, when we burn the coal, when we burn the oil, when we burn the gases, and when we doing that, when we are doing all that, when we are driving our car, when we are driving the bikes, when we are traveling by air, yes, trains also a little bit, but mostly our cars, the airplanes, and the bikes as well, right? So when there were less people, there was less usage of all these things. So it was like much better. The temperature was not rising because the gases were not trapping the heat, because there was not very much heat, and then they were not absorbing the radiation from like up from the sun. They're not absorbing the sunlight, they're not absorbing the radiation, sunlight radiation, which are really harmful. Because if you can just put something out in the sunlight, because these days the temperature is very high. If you can experiment, let you put something outside, maybe a flower or a leaf or anything outside, you will see that these radiations are going to harm that. That will dry it off, and that will have a very uh, um, it will dehydrate it, and that will have a very bad shape. So as the scientists have agreed that we as humans and the human activity is the main cause of all that. So what do you think? Whose responsibility is this to again make it properly, like undo this? What do you think? Who is responsible for all that? Yes, we as humans, we are all responsible for all these things. So we as humans should undo this. Well, now, there are like many things which we are going to do, because if I show you the picture right now of the earth, that how it feels, because if we are going out these days, how do you feel? Right, it's too hot, right? You don't feel really good about uh, going out. You don't want to go out because it's so hot outside, that you don't feel good going out. So in the same way, what do you think? How does the earth feels? Or what do you think the earth feels about the situation, the temperature rising, the gases which are in the environment? So how does the earth feel? So I just want to share with you a picture of the earth. Now look at this, how miserable the earth is feeling. See, if the gases are absorbing all the heat, all the radiation. Now look at the trees. Are they green? No, they're not green. They are also burning. And if the trees are burning, we won't be able to take the oxygen. We won't be able to have the oxygen. And when there will be no trees, they won't be able to absorb the greenhouse gases. They won't be able to absorb the carbon dioxide, right? So look at the earth. Uh, it is feeling miserable. See, the sun is, look at the sun's expression and look at the earth's expression. The earth is feeling terrible. It's feeling hot. It's not feeling good. So we have to make the earth comfortable, right? Because the global warming is going to, if it is keep on increasing, we won't be able to survive on the earth, and we don't have any other place to go except the earth, right? Can we go and live on Mars? Can we go and live on Venus, Saturn? No, we cannot. Yeah, maybe the scientists say that there can be life on Mars, but we cannot live comfortably on Mars as we are living on Earth. So this is our responsibility as humans to create the activities which is going to undo all these things as much as we can, right? Now, we have discussed about that. So the causes of the climate change is the rising minimum and maximum temperature both the ways. If there will be very cold, we won't be able to survive. And if there will be very hot, we won't be able to survive in both ways, right? Then they are rising the sea levels and higher ocean temperatures. That is also the cause of the climate changes, which is happening these days, right? Then there will be increase, and there is an increase in very heavy rain, which sometimes damage our they damage our soils, they damage our harvesting. Like when we are harvesting, they are damaging our fruits as well. So we need to take care of all that. So very heavy rains are not even very good for all of us, right? So sometimes and when it's very heavy rain, it causes so much of damage to our agriculture, to our even like the whole life that disturbs. And then the glaciers, they are also shrinking. Like wherever there are glaciers, if you see the documentary, if you get to know about that, they are also shrinking, and that is also very alarming. So we need to control on all of that, and we need to control on whatever the situations we have just seen, that we have to grow more trees, we have to take care that we are not burning much of the fuel. If there's a family and the family can use one car, stick to that one car. And if you have to go somewhere nearby, use the bicycle, or maybe you can use you can go by walk. These are the small steps we can take to make the environment healthier. And the other thing is that we have to grow more and more and more and more trees. Now, everybody should take the responsibility to grow at least one tree. We should go for two or three, but at least grow one tree, so that we are going to help the environment, we are going to help the humanity, we are going to help our beautiful planet Earth to have a wonderful, wonderful environment, wonderful weathers, wonderful season, wonderful life, and happiness for all of them, right? So we don't want to see the world like crying. We want to see the world happy, and we want to see the people happy. So we have to put in our share in that. Okay. So this was a science class in which we have discussed the global warming. Very, very important issue. Please think about that, discuss with your families, and try grow more trees, try to use less fuel, burn less fuel, um, and try to make this world more beautiful and more happier. So even we all will be happier, right? So I'm going to say goodbye from this class now, and we'll see each other soon in the next class, inshallah. Till then, stay safe, be happy, and be grateful for whatever we have. Till we see each other, inshallah, very soon. I'm going to say you goodbye and Allah Hafiz.